Hello and welcome to the video. This is Hale, and this is going to be a quick start guide to kick off your journey or adventure with Ragnarok Land vs. Genesis. This is a official server backed by Gravity, released on the Ronin network. The server's been up for a little bit over a month now, and it's come to the attention of quite a few people that players, especially those who have maybe never had the opportunity to play this title before, have been having some difficulty getting into it, especially when it comes to the registration, as well as the Web3 aspects, including the creation of your Ronin wallet and linking of it as well to your game account. So in this video, I will be walking you through the process from the main webpage of Land vs. Genesis to creating a Ronin wallet, to binding your account, and creating your first character, going through the tutorial, and we'll talk about some of the core game mechanics. It's not going to be super in-depth, as mentioned. This is going to be a quick start guide, so do feel free to follow along and pause the video to catch up as well. So on the screen is the main website for Ragnarok Online Land vs. Genesis. That's rolg.maxion.gg. And on the top right area, you'll see the download button, where you can then proceed to download the client. And I have it downloaded already, and it is quite a bit of a large download, so do set aside a bit of time for this to complete. And so moving on, we'll go back to the main page. And if you create your first account, you just click on login. And here you'll have the option to continue with Google or with Ronin. This is when you have an account already made. However, just down below, you can create an account following this link. So we're going to sign in with Google. And so I've created a brand new email for the purposes of this video. So we're going to select that and just allow the permissions. So we're going to continue. And that's it. So now you select your username. So this is going to be the username you use to log into the game. It's good to keep this private, just so that it's one less credential that anyone who might want access to your account would need. So we're just going to use something basic, RLG tutorial. And for the password, that's for me. Right. And so you press create account, it's processing, and then success. That's it. You now have your game. You're good to go. At the bottom left, you'll be given a Maxion ID. So this is your ID as far as the Maxion ecosystem is concerned, and it does confirm your email here at the bottom. So registration is successful, and as of here, you're actually good to go. You can go directly to the client and then log in. So let's do that. We're going to open up Land vs. Genesis. And so if you freshly downloaded the client, there will be some amount of patching that needs to be done. But as soon as it is complete, you will see the word complete here in the bottom left. And then all you have to do is launch the client. You press launch, window pops up, and you'll have a choice here. That's going to be Ragnarok Land vs. Genesis. Come in. And so for the username, as mentioned, RLG tutorial, and then the password. And so as of this time, there is only one server. It is the Yo-Yo server. You'll see that it is crowded. And so we go in there, and you will have access to 3 character slots. So we're going to click on the first slot here, and you can choose your hairstyle. You can choose the gender of your character. And I'm just going to pick something random. So today, we're just going to go with whatever. We'll call it the ROLG tutorial. And get in there. And there you have it. So we have our character in the training ground for the novices. And let's go in. We're going to put a pause on the gameplay for a minute here. So let's go back to the browser. And I'm going to show you how to create your Ronin wallet, as well as link it to your Maxion or Ragnarok Online account. And we're going to go to this website, which is the wallet.ronanchain.com to get the extension. So we're going to get this for Firefox. And so it takes you to this link. We're just going to add it to Firefox and add. You can allow tracking if you want. That's completely up to you for the purposes of the video. I'm not going to. And there we go. So we're going to create new wallet. And you have two choices. You can either do this with a recovery phrase or with your email. So I'm just going to showcase continue with recovery phrase here. So continue with recovery phrase. Pick an extension passcode. So this is just for accessing your passcode on this extension on this browser. There we go. And so continue. Not looking to save it for now. And secret recovery phrase. I'm just going to read through this for all of you. So it's your recovery phrase acts as a master password, giving you full control over your blockchain assets. If you forget your password, you can use the recovery phrase to get back into your wallet. It is crucial that you are the sole keeper of your recovery phrase. It is important that you keep your recovery phrase confidential and never disclose it to anyone, including Sky Mavis. So behind this is the 12 words that represent the recovery phrase. So you want to write all of this down on a piece of paper and then say, I understand that Sky Mavis cannot recover the secret recovery phrase. So again, this is self-custodial, completely at your responsibility to make sure this is safe, because if you get locked out of your wallet, this is the only way you're going to have access to it again. If you're not too keen on this process, you can always go back and do it by email, as long as you feel like your email is secure. And so I understand. We're going to take this box and then say continue. And so again, there's a quick test to confirm that you saved it correctly. There we go. And you're all set. That's the creation of the Ronin wallet. You say finish. And we're going to go back to the extension here in the top right. And there are all sorts of information that you can read up about. We're not going to go through this right now. We're say skip. So this is your address, essentially. So when you like other users to send you anything, or when you need to provide your address, this is where you can find it. So now we're going to go back to the Landverse page and then go to Launch App and then go to Maxion Account. So with Maxion Account, now we can actually continue with our Google email address and then click on your email address here, and then it should log you in right away. We'll want to go to Ragnarok Landverse Ronin, and here you'll find the details of your account. And so we're going to go to Associate Account, Ronin Wallet. We're going to click on Link Wallet, and then here you'll have the option to connect wallet. So you click on this, and it'll open your browser extension right away, as well as provide you with this transaction, which is just to connect your Ronin wallet to your Maxion account. So we'll hit connect. So it is connecting now, and so it's going to verify the ownership. It's going to send us a signature. You just have to accept it. So we'll send a request. It's processing now. Very often, it's very obviously tied together. So it shows you what the account is. So account.maxion.gg. So we're going to sign it, and we're not a robot. And there we go. And so my Maxion ID with the Ronin wallet ID, and we're going to link the account. Associated accounts, there we go. So the Ronin wallet is now effectively connected to the account. We're going to go back to Launch App and then go to the Marketplace. So we're going to go to Select Game, choose Landverse Genesis, and then we're going to connect wallet by Ronin wallet. And so it's asking me connect. I'm going to connect now, and I'm going to sign the transaction, and I'm connected now. So that's it. That's all there really is to be able to get access to the marketplace. And so if I wanted to sell NFTs, it would take me to this inventory where it would show me any items that I have minted from the game, and then I would have the option to sell them on the marketplace as well. If I wanted to redeem NFTs, it takes you to a different website where then again we'll connect to the wallet, and it connect, and it will bind, we'll send the request to processing. It sends you the transaction. You just have to sign. I'm not a robot. And then link the account. Yep. While it's already in use, we'll link the account again. We'll try again. Let's refresh. Let's go back. And if this happens to you, something that I've found to work is to just go here, log out, and then connect with the wallet directly. So we sign, it pops in, and then now it sees that you are connected with the wallet already. And just to make sure that it's working as intended, if we sign in with your Google account and you choose your account again, logs me in, and the wallet is in fact tied together. So EF4A and EF4A. So we're good to go. So the account is fully ready. We've created our account. We've created our Ronin wallet, and we've linked that Ronin wallet to our Maxion account as well. We've created our first character, and we are in the novice tutorial map. And so I'm going to walk you through this process. I do recommend that you read through these dialogues with the NPCs, as they do provide some information, especially for players who aren't quite familiar with the game just yet. However, I will guide you as far as I can so that you can start your journey in the game, with as little trouble as possible. So the game is a top-down bird's eye view MMORPG. Majority of the control is done with your mouse. Movement will be done just by clicking on locations on the map, and your character stays centered as well. This is the first NPC you'll run into, Xion, and so we'll speak to her. And she welcomes you to the training grounds, and she checks into your name, and she introduces herself, and she's here for any questions. And so here you can ask a bit more, but generally if you spam enter and just keep talking to her, she'll actually provide you with a little bit of levels up. So you want to take this, because as you go through this tutorial, there are a lot of free levels that you can take. So when you're done talking to Xion, you'll want to proceed to the right, cross the bridge. And again, as mentioned, this game is controlled fully with your mouse. I'm just holding my left click down while positioning it, so you can actually control the direction your character moves in this manner. And so we're going to go into this capsule here. You don't need to talk to these guards. They don't know anything. And talk to the receptionist. And so they say, you're new here. What's your name? So this is maybe like a bot check. So we're just going to put our name in. So it's ROLG tutorial, and press enter. And you want to enter the training grounds. Just apply for the training. So apply for the training. Go, go, go. You get this RO Verse manual book. And you're going to be using this item a lot. So we'll talk about that right after. So to open your inventory, that's going to be Alt E. And it was already open for me here at the bottom right. And we're going to go to use or usable items. And here you have the RO Verse manual book. I recommend placing this somewhere accessible so that you don't have to keep on opening your inventory just to get it. And so most items in Ragnarok can be used or accessed just by double clicking. And so for now, cannot be used in the training ground. So we'll talk about this a little bit once we clear this area. And so if you move up here into the training ground, there will be 3 NPCs in this area. Generally, you'll speak to this guy first, and then most people go directly to the left. My recommendation is speak to the blacksmith first here on the right, and just keep talking to her. She tells you all about the equipment tab and the, this is where you can learn all about the user interface, etc. I recommend that you do speak to and read each of these dialogues, especially if you're new. However, if you're in a rush, just talk to her and keep spamming enter. After that, talk to the second guy here in the middle. Registration, blah, blah, blah. Yes, 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 yes. So keep pressing enter. Keep pressing enter. Keep pressing enter. So like all the information that you need to know can be learned just by talking to these NPCs and actually reading what they say. But as mentioned, this is a quick start guide, so you can do that in your own time. So talk to him again, and keep pressing enter, and he's going to send you to this guy who's literally on his left. You can walk there as well, but this is sometimes faster. So you talk to this guy next, and he'll talk to you about skills. He'll give you access to the skilled first aid, which you're honestly not going to use a whole lot, but it's nice to have. So you talk to him, talk to him, talk to him, and then talk to him again, and he sends you to the room on the left. As of now, we haven't killed a single monster, and we're already level 4 with a job level of 6. So keep that in mind. Now, talk to the helper on the left side, and he's gonna, give you some information. Just go through it again, and then you'll get a level. You don't need to read through these details here. It's nice if you want to, but then you don't have to. There's no more levels. to receive, so just quit. Then talk to the entrance guard on the right side, and you want to go inside to fight some monsters. You will receive some potions here. Oops. Uh-oh. I'm going to need these potions right away. Hang on. There we go. Anyway, so far, after speaking to all of these NPCs, we would have received a bunch of items. These items actually for novices are quite good as they have decent defense, particularly the weapon, which is much better than what they give you. This one has an attack of 17, this has an attack of 45, way better. So basically you want to put all of these things on, and the cotton shirt and the knife you started with are not important. If you press Alt Q, that opens your equipment, and then you'll be able to see exactly what items you have on your character. So here you go. With all of the novice-related things they've given us, we're ready to go kill some monsters. However, my suggestion is to speak to this trainer who will send you to a more difficult map and then go there. And while here, get the aggro of some of these monsters and just allow your character to die. So when your character dies, you're presented with the option to return to your last save point or just return to the game. The only reason you'd return to the game is maybe you have an item that allows you to resurrect, or you have a friend nearby who can then resurrect you instead. If you press escape, it'll give you the option to return to the last save point, and so let's do that. The reason we killed ourselves here is so that when we speak to the entrance guard again, they actually feel bad for you and then give you another level up as well as some novice potions. So now you're level 6 base and job and have 400 potions, and we're good to go. So at this point, you just want to kill some monsters and gain more levels. So the goal at this time is to reach a job level of 10. And you'll see here I'm missing quite a bit, and that's because I haven't placed my stats yet. Now, if you press Alt A, or sorry, just Alt A, that'll open the status window. I want to say this up front, that status points are, for the most part, permanent. So you want to think really well about where you place your points. There are ways to reset your points, particularly up to level 40. It is free to reset your status points. However, after level 40, it will then cost you a item that costs cash shop points to be able to reset. So again, be mindful when you place these points. So just for now, I'm going to go with about maybe 17 points of dex, and the rest of my points I'm going to place into agility. So we're going to continue on with this portion. I'm probably going to fast forward it until we get to job level 10. So we've reached job level 10, and we'll proceed to speak to this test examiner here, and he'll take us into the next phase where we again get to choose our job class. To be able to do this, you do need to spend your skill points first, so press Alt and then letter S, and then this opens your skill window. And so you'll want to get your basic skills up to level 9. And so the details of these basic skills can be seen as you hover over in the tooltip, and do feel free to read through that when you have the time. So click into the 9 points, press apply, and then say OK, and this locks in the skill points. Skill points, just like stat points, are permanent unless you reset them. So you can't just undo these allocations. So you do want to be a little bit mindful and plan ahead when you place these points. So in Ragnarok Online, there are 6 first job classes, which are the Acolyte, the Archer, the Mage, the Merchant, the Swordsman, and lastly, the Thief. Very briefly, to talk about each of these classes, the Acolyte is a magic-based support type class. However, there are ways to build them so that they are battle types as well, where instead of supporting others, they support themselves. They then change their job into priests, which unlocks further supportive abilities. Archers are the long-range DPS type characters who focus on dealing damage from distance and are generally heavy, consistent damage dealers. Their first or their second job class will be the Hunter, which opens up access to traps as well as Falcon-based auto attack triggers. for even more sustained damage. Mages are the magic-based DPS classes. They also deal damage from range, and their second job class will be the wizard. Mages themselves are more focused on single type damage or single target type damage, whereas becoming a wizard will give you access to a much larger area of effect. The merchant class is a physical burst type damage class, which also happens to have access to skills that allow you to get cheaper purchases from NPCs, as well as to sell your items for more. In general, every player wants to have a extra character that'll be a merchant, so that they can get better deals with their supplies as well as when selling their items. The second job class for the merchant is the blacksmith, and this job class will then give you access to even more power-ups, not just for yourself but also for your party. And there is also the option to become a forger, where you're able to create weapons as well as to process different materials and metals. Second to the last is the swordsman, which is the next melee DPS character, who's focused a bit more on tank and ground control. They change into knights, which are characters that have mounts and have access to larger AoE skills such as bowling bash and brandish spear. Swordsmen in general are the tankiest characters in the game and are very often the vanguards or the characters that dive into enemy formations. And lastly is the thief, which is the third melee DPS character, but then this class is more focused on agility and dealing quick successive attacks and doing consistent damage over time. They do transition into a second job class called the assassin, which gives you access to even more burst type attacks such as sonic blow and access to more poison skills as well. So for the purposes of this video, we're going to be going with a thief, just so that you can see what it's like to receive the starter pack for each class. So talk to the thief and say hi, and they do introduce themselves and to give you a little bit of insight into the class, and you can say yes or no. And so I'm going to say yes here, and we're going to continue. Press next, press next, press next, on and on and on. And you choose to say, please change my job. So please change my job, and they will automatically change your job to the one you chose, which is the thief for my choice, and then move you to the city of Izlud. Izlud is currently the main city where majority of the NPCs, particularly for events, daily activities, can be found. And so you will expect to arrive in this town right after your training. And so you want to open your inventory, and here you'll see that there's a gift, which is the Landverse Beginner Box, which will contain items and supplies that'll help you in the beginning. So open this up, and you'll receive some Flywings and a box of more novice potions. So this is great for your first few levels. And here is the Landverse Beginner Equipment Box, which will allow you to choose which class you'd like to open it for. So be very careful to select the correct class that you've changed into. I'll be choosing the Thief Beginner Set, and then select, and I confirm Thief Beginner Set is correct, and okay. And so now you'll notice that the novice related items have been unequipped, and that's because they're only for novices. So we're going to put on this novice cutter that we've received for thieves, and the cotton shirt we had a while ago, and the rest of these items aren't very useful. The one item that you do manage to keep is this novice guard, which is quite nice with 20 defense, so hold on to it. And that's it. This is the first town that you have access to, and from here where you go is completely up to you. As mentioned a while ago, we do have this book that was given to us, and through this book we get access to information, particularly the daily quests, as well as your stamina. Stamina is a resource that, for the most part, allows you to receive higher experience and drop rates, and is deducted with every kill of a monster or experience that you receive. And you receive 1,000 stamina per day. This can be increased in various ways, and so maximizing the use of your stamina is a strategic part of this game. So we're going to press next, and you'll see that there are various choices here. So we'll go through this one by one, and then we'll conclude the video. So the Nova Space is essentially a pocket dimension area where you have a variety of NPCs, such as a healer, a tool dealer where you can sell and purchase items and supplies, as well as Caphra Nova, which gives you access to your storage. To access the Nova Space, you do actually need to have a subscription to it, which is a cash shop item that you can find in the Moonstone shop in the top right. Stamina usage, as mentioned a while ago, for every point of stamina, it does increase the rate that you receive experience, as well as the rate you receive items from monsters. Pet combination is a mechanic for the game where you're able to combine pet eggs in the hopes of increasing the tier to a higher one. As a new player, you don't really need to worry about this too much. What you just need to understand about pets is they are essentially like equipment, as they do provide status bonuses as well. Turn off the guild DCOC perk. If you join a guild, you do receive a low level of discount and overcharge. As mentioned a while ago, generally you want to create a merchant for yourself so that you can receive the full benefit of those skills. The union system is a game system whereby for every character on your account above level 60, you will receive bonus stats. So again, as a new player, you don't need to worry about this too much. You can read up on this on the wiki if you'd like. Yggdrasil's Rift is a map dedicated to allowing players to farm materials that are necessary for upgrading their items, as well as for other systems in the game. That map is, however, a PvP map, and it is requiring you to be level 50 for you to proceed. So again, it's one more system that you as a new player don't need to worry about for now. And continuing down the list, that's it. So that's really all there is to get yourself started in the game. At this point, your goal would be to reach a job level of 50, and that will then, or at least level 40, which will allow you to progress into your second job class. At a job level of 40, you will require a much higher gear score to be able to progress. At level 50, it's a lower gear score requirement to be able to go on to your second job class. Gear score is dictated by the quality of items that your character has equipped. So if by removing these items, for example, and I look at my gear score again, it's actually at 0. Generally, to be able to progress to the second job class, you'll want at least a level 3 weapon, and that should raise your gear score high enough just to be able to change your job. The challenge often is to be able to save enough Zenny, which is the game currency, to be able to purchase this weapon for your character. So that's it. Welcome to the world of Ragnarok, and all the best. Do feel free to reach out, leave some comments, questions, etc. There will be more videos in the future to discuss in more detail the different systems in the game, but this should be enough to get you started. So, best of luck, and I'll see you around.